Icebreaking. Overcoming social anxiety in a digital age.
Hold on just a second. Okay, restart because I interrupted. Okay.
Creative icebreaking. This speech is an introduction to me, Ariel, as well as a practical guide for making connections in a distracted, disconnected world. The theme is reimagine. So let's reimagine this. First, I'm going to briefly introduce myself, and then I'm going to share some practices that I've found help comfort me when I feel very nervous and I still want to connect with others. It's important in our modern day to collaborate with others. How do we do that with our phones in our hands, always looking down? Would you agree that maybe we could use a bit more human interaction? Does it sometimes feel like you just don't know what to say? So here's the first part of the speech. And if somebody were to ask me, who am I? I am a multi-passionate artist, a consultant from Maryland. I've traveled and worked all over the country. I'm inspired by environments to make art as well as advise creatives and creative businesses. I also make jewelry, I DJ, and I love fashion and dressing up. So now you know a little bit about me. I'm in a new era of my life. I lost my parents somewhat recently. I'm feeling the call to travel again, have new experiences, broaden my horizons, and lift me out of some of this dark depression that I've been having. So I know it's really important to rely on the skills that I already know. And when I was introverted and very shy as a child, some of the same triggers are coming up for me now that I'm again on my own. So when I'm placed in new situations as a kid, I was really overcome with anxiety. I didn't know exactly how to make friends. So I learned creative ways to get more relaxed in any situation so I can truly remember the connections that I'm making and overcome the fear of being liked or not liked, that I can truly share my personality, maybe connect with a potential new friend or business partner over common interests and ideas. So here's the part where I share about this mnemonic device called the 3 A's of creative icebreaking. And it helps me to ease anxiety that comes along with getting comfortable in new scenarios. So I remind myself of the intention. What was the reason I started this new job or meeting, or why did I begin this new adventure in the first place? Remembering I wanted to learn, to meet new people, to have fun. So I remind myself of these intentions and these purpose or intentions before I go forward, so I can feel more motivated instead of anxious. So these 3 learned how to when you're not feeling comfortable and you're placed in a situation like a class at school or work, or maybe it could be even moving to a new neighborhood. It can all be summarized by the 3 A's. The first A is ask. Ask a question. Ask what's happening, if you can borrow a pen or a pencil. Ask, where can I find the restroom? Or, you know, where can I find a beverage? Anything that you ask of someone else opens up the conversation and you might lead to a new connection. And now that I've shared with you the first A, ask, the second is appreciate. So this is about appreciating your environment. You might notice the color of something nearby, the smoothness of the chair, or the feeling of the breeze. And you might appreciate the way the ground feels beneath your feet. So if you appreciate these things, or you appreciate something about someone else physically, their haircut or their perfume, you may offer them a compliment, and this could start a new conversation. People love to talk about themselves. So if you ask more follow-up questions, then you can build rapport and you never know what could happen after that. You might gain a new client or get some guidance that you need in your life. So that's the second of the three A's, appreciate. First we had ask, second we had appreciate, and now it's time for the third one. Does anybody know what the third one might be? If you guessed act, you're correct. Act as if you feel comfortable. You can say to yourself, even though I feel nervous, I'm deciding I feel at ease. I feel safe here. Using the magic tool of pretending. Invoking calmness is not about putting on an act, but you can be in the action of feeling good about yourself, even if there's a tiny part of you inside that feels afraid. As a traveler and passionate about Earth and sustainability, I'm looking forward to spending some time traveling this fall, and I'm hoping to use these tools for myself to continue making friends, even if it feels like a huge, daunting task. I hope that you also feel that there's something to connect to, especially as you go about your day. Coming out of your little bubble is an expansive act. And even if someone ignores you or rejects you or doesn't give you the time of day, remember nothing is ever personal. And it's worth it to be the first person to ask, appreciate, or act so you brighten someone's day. And in turn, life gets that much easier and more enjoyable.